So the introduction of stack. What is a stack? Stack is a data structure, or it is an abstract data type which is commonly used in most of the programming language, and it is named stack as it behaves like a real world stack. For example, a deck of cards or pile of plate, or you can say a stack of clothes. Okay, so the basic principle we follow to implement a stack is last in first out. Okay, here are some example given to you, and you can see. Okay, and the examples are given to you. You can see a stack of coins, the stack of some trays, you can see here, a stack of some containers, and stack of some clothes. Okay, so if you see in a real world example, what is the application of stack or how it actually works, then you can see as if I'm having a stack of trays, then in that case the last inserted tray will be on the top of the stack, and the first inserted tray will be at the bottom. So the tray which I already inserted in the bottom will remain for a long period of time in that particular stack, because here I can remove these trays from the stack one by one only from the top side. Okay, so I can place the trays one by one on each other, and I can also remove them from the given stack one by one. So here you can see that we are using only one side of container, you can say, and we are placing them using only that end, or that end, and you are also removing all the object or thing which you are placing on that particular container by using only one end. So here we are using a single end to place or to insert or removing some element from that particular container. So here are some real world examples in front of you, and you can see that the last inserted tray will be on the top of the stack, and the first inserted tray will be on the bottom of the stack. In similar way, the stack in computer science behaves as you are given these examples. Okay, so basically stack is a collection of homogeneous element, means we are going to implement a stack using array or using linked list, but all the element in a particular stack should be of same type. Okay, the element should be of homogeneous element only, because we are using only one and for placing or for removing element or object in a container. So we can say we are using uh, a particular and that and is called top of stack, and it is very important term we use while discussing the stack, the top of stack. Okay, so there are some important things, or there are some important terminology we are assigning or associated with this stack. One is top of stack. So whenever we are inserting or whenever we are removing from a given stack, we are just updating the content of this and only, and for that particular and or for representing this and we are using a variable, and the name of that variable we can use as top of stack, or simply we can use a variable name top. Okay, so here we usually use a top variable name to represent the content of a stack. Okay, so this top will represent the recently added element or the element to be removed first. Okay, because all the operations we are performing from this and only, so the process is clear to you, and that's why we say that any stack data structure is completely based on this principle, that is last in first out. So the thing or object inserted last will be first to be removed. Okay, so the concept of stack is clear to you, and it is also called an abstract data type. And why it is called abstract data type? As you know, the definition of abstract data type are those data type which are containing its data element with some operations associated with them. Okay, so when we are performing this stack, there are some operation associated with the stack, and these operations are push and pop operation, and some another operations also we will be discussing in next slide. Okay class, so the definition of stack is clear to all of you. Is there any doubt? Okay class, so we can proceed with the operation we can perform on given stack. So here are in next slide you can see we can perform some basic operation on stack, and while implementing stack we need to perform these operations because we are implementing a stack. So we need to perform some operation on this given data structure, and some operations are already assigned with this data structure. That's why it is called abstract data type. Okay, so there are some operations you can see. The first operation we can perform on stack is push operation. To push any element, we need to insert a given element on top of stack, because we can perform insertion from top and only. So we add an element to the top of stack. So adding a new element in the stack is called push operation. The second operation we can perform is pop operation. When we want to remove any element from the stack, we have to remove that element from the top side again, and this is called the pop operation. So removing an element is called pop operation. There are three functions we can say we are generally using while implementing the stack, and these functions are peak, is full, and is empty. We have designed these functions, or you can say these are user defined functions, and user define these functions according to his or her requirement. And these functions are basically we use to perform a simple implementation, you can say. So to perform implementation in a simpler way, we can use these three functions with these push and pop operation. So what are these functions? The peak function generally return the top element of the stack. If you want to see which element is placed on the top at that current time, you can just call this function peak function, which you have already defined, and you have already given the code for this given function. I'll show you the code, what code we can use or what C function we can use to define this kind of function. Okay, so the main aim or the main role of this function is to get the top element of the stack. Okay, so when we call this function, the top element will be returned to you. Next function we can use to check whether the stack is full or not. Okay, so the name we have given to this function is full. This function will return a true value whenever the stack will be full. Okay, so it will check if the stack is full. So if a stack is full, the value returned by this function will be a true value. So we are using a boolean return type for this given function. Okay, I hope you have already used some boolean return type function before. The next function we can use for stack is empty. To check whether the stack is empty or not, we need to call this function. And why we need to check whether the stack is full or empty? Because we are going to perform some operation on the given stack, and we can implement this data structure that is called stack with the help of array as well as linked list. Okay, so once we are implementing a stack with the help of this array representation, you already know the size of array data structure is fixed, and you cannot change the size of array data structure. If you have defined a stack with the help of array data structure, in that case the size of the stack will be fixed Okay, so you cannot change the size of stack. So there will be some situation when the stack is full, and this situation, you know, is called overflow situation. And similar to that, if you need to delete any element or removing you want to remove any element from the given stack data structure, then you need to check whether the stack is empty or not. Okay, so if a stack is empty, then you cannot perform deletion or you cannot remove any element from stack, because there is no element presented in stack. Okay, so we when we are performing the stack implementation, we need to check whether overflow or underflow arises. If yes, then we cannot insert or we cannot delete respectively. Okay, class. So I hope these functions are clear to you, and this peak function is required to just show what is the current scenario for a given stack and where the given top is pointing at that particular moment. Okay, so if it is pointing at the top of the stack, means let's suppose I have defined an stack of size 5. Let me tell you here. So one by one we will be one by one we will be discussing the code for these function which we have defined for our simplicity to implement stack. So let me give you an example first for the stack data structure, and I'm using this space. Let's suppose I'm representing the stack data structure in this way, like a container, and you can see this is the bottom side of container and this is the top side of container. So when we are implementing this stack, we can perform any operation from this and only, means we can insert from this and we can also delete from this and the insertion is called push operation and the deletion is called, again class, I'm getting some request. I already told you that I will not allow any one of you after starting class. Okay, let me check who is this. Just a minute. Sagar Jaiswal. Sagar, this time I have allowed you, but next time I will not allow you, because it is quite disturbing to switch from one window to another. Okay, so we were discussing about the structure of stack, and here you can see if I represent stack in the form of a container, you can see here it is the bottom end, it is the top end of the stack, and you can perform two operation on this stack. Either you can insert, that is called push operation, or you can perform pop operation or delete element from this given stack. How can we implement this stack? We can implement using array as well as linked list. Here I'm implementing this step using array implementation. So once I'm using array implementation, again the indexing will be there. Okay, so here you can see some index are assigned with each and every position, or you can say with each and every block of this given index. Here the index are from 0 to 5, so I have used an array to implement this stack in the form of int, and let's suppose I'm using the name for this array as stack. You can use any name xyz, but here I'm using stack for this given array. Okay, so int stack, and I have used a size of 6 here. So once I have declared this array of size 6, a stack of 6 will be allocated to you. Now you need to make this data structure or this array to behave like a stack. Okay, and because you know the principle of stack, it should be last in first out. You can only perform insertion from this end and you can perform deletion from this end. Okay, so let's see what will happen if I'm inserting element in this given data structure. Let me tell you first what is the overflow and underflow condition for given stack. Here you can see, if the top of stack is pointing to the max size means the last index of given array. Okay, so here in this example, the max size for this given index will be the last index, that is 5. Okay, so if the top of a stack is pointing to that index, in that case it will be true that the stack is already full. Okay, let me tell you the complete scenario with the help of example. Okay, in this situation you can see there is no element in this given stack and the stack is empty. So whenever the stack is empty, to store or to remove any element, we have to use this variable that is called top. So top is an index value, you can say, which denote its recently added element or element to be deleted first. Okay, so initially when the stack is empty, you need to initialize this top index as the index before 0. Okay, so the very first index you can see here for this stack data structure is 0. So the previous to 0 or the index out of this array you can take as -1. Okay, so here I'm taking that top should be at index value -1 when it is empty. So I'm using here top equal -1. So when this situation, when the top pointing to -1 index, it means the stack is empty, and whenever stack is empty you can not further delete element from the stack, but you can insert element in stack. So the condition is clear to all of you. This is called the underflow condition, whenever this top index will point to the -1 index. So here I'm having an empty stack and I can insert in this given stack. So let's suppose I'm storing element with value 1. So whenever I'll store the value at index number 1, the variable that is called the top of a stack will change automatically, and this variable will hold the index value of this newly inserted element. So in this given stack, you can see here is only one element stored in this stack, and the top variable of this stack is pointing to that index only. Okay, so here you can see the newly inserted element or recently added element is at index number 0, and the element you can remove from this given stack because it is not empty now. So you can perform deletion from this stack, and the element that is to be deleted from this stack will be 1. Okay, so class, whenever you are inserting or whenever you are performing any insertion operation, in that case the top and should increase one by one whenever you are inserting. Okay, so here I'm inserting element one by one, and you will see that the top will change at each step. So in this case, when you have inserted element 3, the top is pointing to this index value, that is 3, or hold by the variable 3. Whenever you inserting at next position, the top will automatically change and it is now pointing to this index number. And finally, when I have inserted multiple element in this stack, and in this situation you can see stack is full and top is pointing to the variable which is the last index of this given stack. Okay, so here you can see I have defined a stack of size 6, and all the spaces or all the block of this stack data structure is full and you cannot further insert. So what is the situation? You can say this is the overflow situation in this case. So we can easily drive this condition whenever the top is pointing to max size of this given data structure and max size is equal to the last index, you can say, for this data structure, then in that case the stack will be full. Okay, so we are using this function is full to implement, or for a simple specification of this implementation. So here we need to first create, either we can use this statement each time we are inserting. We need to check this statement whenever we are inserting in a given stack, or you can make a separate function to call this statement again and again. Okay, so here we are using a separate function is full, and you can see here I have defined a bool uh, return type for this given function. Okay, so whenever this stove will point to the last index or max size of this given stack data structure, it will automatically return a true value. Okay, whenever it is true, it means stack is full and underflow arises. But if stack is not full, let's suppose the stove is pointing to index number 3, in that case it will not be equal to max size and it will return false. So it is very simple function you can make, because every time you need to insert, you need to check overflow condition. So instead of writing, or instead of checking this statement if top equal max size, you can make a separate function to check whether this list is empty, or whether this stack is empty or not. Okay, so guys, because we are starting the stack data structure from the zero index, so you can sometime you use this max size to denote that you are pointing at the last index, or you can say if the max size is this 6, then in that case automatically this will be max size minus 1. So it is completely dependent on you for which value you are using max size, whether max size represent the last index or max size represent the size of given data structure. Okay, so if you are using max size as the maximum size for the given data structure, in that case you need to check whether top is pointing to the last index, and in that case automatically the condition will be max size minus 1. Okay, but if you are using this max size to denote the last index, okay, that is 5, then in that case the condition will be if top equal to max size. So change this condition according to your requirement, because this is a complete user defined function and you have to use this function according to your requirement. Okay, uh, okay, so the next operation or next function we generally use for checking the underflow situation in given stack. While deletion, we need to check underflow situation. So in that case, we need to check whether the stack is empty or not. Because if a stack is not empty, we cannot perform any deletion from given stack, and in that case, it should be returned as true. Okay, so here is the condition. Again we have used boolean return type for this given function, and the name of function is empty if top is pointing to the minus 1. I have already discussed about this condition. When top, when there is no element in the stack, the top will point to the minus 1 index, that is previous to 0. Okay, so whenever you are inserting further in given stack and stack is empty, you can perform insertion, but whenever stack is empty you cannot perform deletion from this stack. Let me tell you, if I'm using another stack data structure and this data structure is empty, and top is pointing somewhere out of stack, and we have initialized the top value as minus 1, in that case you can see there is no element stored at this stack data structure and you cannot further delete. Okay, so once you are having an empty stack, you can perform insertion surely. Let's suppose I'm inserting 3 element in this given stack data structure, and now you will see that stack will point to the index number 2. Okay, so whenever I want to delete from this given data structure, what will happen? I need to delete because I can use only this and to delete or remove any element. So the element stored at the top of the stack will be deleted first. Okay, so whenever you have deleted this element, you will see that the top will change at the previous index value. Okay, so before deletion the top was at index number 2, and after deletion it will be at index number 1 automatically. So here you will see that whenever you are deleting from the stack, the top value will decrease. And in previous example we have discussed, if you are inserting element in the stack, then top value will increase automatically, you will see. Okay, and initial value for this top variable should be -1. Okay, so if the value returned from this empty function is true, in that case you cannot further delete from given stack. If it is false, then some element are there and you can surely perform deletion. Okay, okay, the next function, and this function is called peek function. Sometime we need to know where the stack is, where the top of stack is actually pointing. Whenever we need to display the content of given stack, and we don't know how many number of element are already there in the stack, in that case you can use this operation that is called peek operation. It simply return the top index value to you to show that the element, the last element or the top element of the stack is at this particular index value at that time. So here it is giving you a top data element without removing it. Okay, so it will just print the element which is stored at the top index at that time. Okay class, I hope all the operations are clear to you. We can use for checking some condition while implementing the stack. Okay, now we can proceed with the implementation of a stack. And before implementation of a stack, you need to learn about two functions, push and pop function, because in push function you need to perform some C code, or you need to perform some steps to perform insertion in given stack, because the entire process of insertion is clear to you. How can we perform insertion? Whenever we are performing insertion, first we need to check overflow condition, and if stack is not full, there are some spaces left in a stack, you can proceed with insertion. Okay, and you also know that while insertion the top will increase, and whenever we are performing pop operation or removing element from the stack, in that case the top will decrease one by one whenever you are deleting element from stack. Okay, so we will discuss these two operation one by one, and the C function for these two operation respectively will discuss. Okay, first see the structure. I have already explained this structure with the help of example to you, and here is the diagram. You can see the push operation, you are inserting element, and here using this pop operation you are deleting elements. We have already discussed this underflow and overflow situation, and whenever stack is full it is called overflow situation, and whenever it is not or it is empty, in that case it is called underflow situation. Okay, okay, the next operation we can perform on a stack is push operation. We have already discussed this operation. Still I will discuss all these stuff we can perform or while inserting a new element in the existing stack. Okay, so push operation involves a number of steps, and you need to be careful about performing this step. The step should be in order, because whenever you are inserting a new element at the stack, you can say you are performing array implementation, and you are inserting element in an array, but you are using one and only. Okay, so because we are using static implementation, so you know very well, whenever you are using in static implementation or array implementation, you need to use the index value to locate to locate that particular position where you want to insert. Okay, so indexing is very important here, and whenever you are inserting, the index value that is free should be used. Okay, so let's start with the staff one. In staff one, you need to check whether stack is full or not while insertion. It is obvious that if stack is not full, you can insert, but if it is full, then in that case you cannot proceed. Okay, so if it is full, then show an error and exit. You cannot further insert. But if it is not, then in that case you need to first increment the top point to the next empty space. I have just discussed about this increment in the index value, and it is very important. When you are inserting element in the stack, there should be an index value with you where you want to insert. So first, whenever you are inserting, you need to first increment the index value to get a particular space or block which is vacant. Okay, so you first need to increment the top, and by just using top equal to top plus 1, you can increase this top variable. Okay, let's say if I'm inserting element in an empty stack, then initially this top will point to the -1 index value, and whenever you are going to insert in this empty stack, the value should be inserted at this index value, that is index value 0. So the top value will be increased by 1, and automatically it will be 0 index value, because initially we have used this top as -1 index, and it is also a reason why we are using this top as -1 while initialization, because whenever we'll increase the top with one value, automatically it will point to the 0 index value. That's why we generally initialize top with -1. Okay, so the first element you need to insert here, first there should be a particular index value where you need to insert, and that value should be, or that block or index value should be vacant. Okay, so first you need to perform this top plus plus. Okay, then add data element to that particular location by just using a simple step we use in array insertion. Okay, there is process in the next slide also. So rather than writing it here, I will explain in next slide. Okay, so whatever you are doing here, you are just first checking for the overflow situation. If it is not overflow, you can insert. In that case, you need to first increase the top value, because already the top will pointing to a full block, you can say, and after increasing the top value, you will get an index where the space is vacant. Okay, and then you need to add element, and then you need to return that you have successfully insert the element at the desired position. There is one important note is there when you are implementing this stack using linked list implementation, because in linked list there is no overflow situation, so you need to start from the step number 3rd, and you just have to allocate space for that particular block or node. Okay, so once we will be discussing this linked list implementation, you will see. Okay class, so here is the code, or you can see the C function. You can see the C function for implementing this push operation, and here we are using name for this function as push function. This function will not return any kind of value, so I have used this void type. 3 values or 3 argument we are passing here. The first is data structure, where which is already given to you and where you need to insert. Another one is the element, because you need to insert a new element, so the element should be there. Next one is the size of complete data structure. Okay, So whenever you are inserting, you need to first check whether stack is full or not. If this if the value returned from this function is true, in that case it will automatically print a full statement and you need to exit. Else you need to increase the top index, and top is already initialized as top minus 1 in the main function wherever you are implementing it. Okay, and once you have increased this top, you just need to use this index value here to represent to cop sorry to store this new element. Okay, so here we are just accessing the stack top equal to x. That's it, class. You just have to insert any new element by just using these number of stack you can insert. It is very simple operation you can perform on stack. Stack data structure implementation is very easy. You will see that. Okay, here is example, and I have already discussed this kind of example. If you are having an existing data structure of 4 elements, let's say A, B, C, D are 4 elements are already in this given data structure stack, and you need to insert a new element in this data structure, that is E. Where you can insert this element, you can only insert at the top side of this given data structure. Okay, and to insert this E, first you need to be at that particular index where you can insert. So you need to first increase top at the next index value. Whenever once you have incremented this index value, you can insert or place this element at this particular index value. Okay, the pop operation. Again, to perform the pop operation, first you need to check whether you can perform deletion from the given stack. If yes, if stack is not empty, you can perform deletion. But if stack is empty, in that case, you need to produce that you cannot perform deletion and there is some error or stack is in underflow condition. Okay, but if stack is not empty, you can further delete element. In that case, what you need to do here, you need to first store or print that element. This element is going to be deleted from the stack data structure, and then you need to decrement the top value. Or you can see this pop operation is just opposite to this insertion operation. In insertion, what we have done, we have first incremented the top, then we have inserted the element. But here in deletion operation or pop operation, first you need to copy the value or print the value which is you are deleting, and then you need to decrement this top index. Here you will see. Okay, so here is the function. You can see the function name is pop function, and you need to pass the stack and the size of complete stack. Okay, and if a stack is empty, you cannot delete, but if it is not, then you are just copying the stack top in a data value so that you can print a statement that the value deleted is data. Okay, just showing that you have performed actual deletion. Okay, and then after copying this value, you can decrease this top content, top index, by writing a statement top equal to top minus 1. Once you have decremented the top as top minus 1, in this case you will access only the stack content from 0 to top. If you want to display the entire stack data structure which you are having with you, you need to just display from the index number 0 up to top. And in that case, you will see that automatically that element is removed from the existing stack. The example for the pop operation is here. If you are having 5 number of element A, B, C, D, E in the given stack, you can further delete that element by performing this pop operation. In that case, you first need to remove, because you are in next step you will be decrementing this top structure, top variable, and automatically you will lose the content for this element which was